Resolution is for payment of vouchers in the amount of $61,949.85. Largest amount being paid to Vindian Inc. Incorporated, which is for police uniforms in the amount of $7,808.25.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next order of business is village clerk.
Good evening. First, we have a request from Emma Pancho, doing business as Mr. Softy, to sell ice cream and related products from May to October 31st.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution authorizing the receiver of taxes to collect taxes for the year 2001 in two installments. The first installment on June 1st, 2001, and the second installment on December 1st, 2001, and further authorizing the mayor to sign the tax collector's warrant.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Also like to announce that beginning with the meeting in June, we will go on a summer schedule for the months of June, July, August, and September. Probably, I'm not quite sure if the board has set a date
We have
for
to set our
June
dates.
yet.
But we'll have it.
It will be
motion.
announced.
Yes, it will be announced. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Also like to announce that village office will be closed on Monday, May 28th, in observance of Memorial Day.
Thank you, Susan.
Thanks, Susan.
Thank you.
The next is Department of Public Works, and I have two announcements. One is recyclable yard waste, grass clippings and leaves and things of that nature must go into a container or into a brown bag. And the black bags that are being left at the curb containing these items cannot be picked up. We will really have a problem disposing of these items, so we'd like to ask everyone if they would please, with our ordinance, it must go into a brown bag, it must go into a container, and if you have branches and so on, they have to go into small bundles. Also, we have some residents complaining that out-of-area gardeners are leaving their debris from other areas in our community, and there evidently are a couple that have been seen doing this, but photographs have not been able to be taken, and when someone has been called, either the police or DPW, they've managed to get away. So this is, added expense to our community. If anybody should see someone doing this, a gardener, this particular area, I understand where this is happening, please either call the police department or DPW so we can at least give them a warning, and there will be a hefty summons, I understand, if they are caught. Village Attorney?
Good evening, thank you. The first item I have this evening is a request to approve some certiorari settlements. I know these have been covered with the board previously, so perhaps I'll just do them as a group and you can consider them as one resolution. The first one is 199 Marbledale Road. The total refund, which goes back to 1995, is estimated to be $55,467. The second one is 125 Columbus Avenue. This proposed settlement looks like it goes back to 7. The proposed settlement is for $6,587. The next one is I'm sorry. The $6,587 was for 134 Main Street. The 125 Columbus Avenue was $19,156.70. The next one I have is 125 Marbledale Road. The settlement amount is $18,166.85. This goes back to 1993. The next one is 9395 Lake Avenue, and the settlement proposal is for $24,128. I'm just giving you, these are all in accordance with the outlined settlement proposal from John Burkhardt, our certiorari counsel, with which Rich O'Donnell, the assessor, has reviewed. The exact figures will be based on the reduction to the assessed valuations, and what I've given you is the estimates of what the refunds will be based on the reductions. Just for your information, if you approve these settlements this evening, we can still be a little flexible about when the payments are made, so you can make a determination where and when the funds will be dispersed. But we have had some pressure from the petitioner's attorneys to go ahead and get the approval. So Mr. Burkhardt and I would strongly recommend approving these settlements this evening, and then we can work with the board and the acting treasurer as to when the payments will actually be made, so we can control the issuance of the orders.
So we need a motion.
Yes.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, I'm also pleased to say that we do have one certiorari settlement, which is, I don't have the paperwork right here, I can report for sure next meeting, where there was no reduction made. Based on the appraisal that they had provided, it appears that our numbers were actually fairly accurate. There was would have been a very slight reduction, which we were going to make up by going forward and changing it next year. And the petitioner has agreed not to. We wanted to go back 4 or 5 years on a property. Basically, John Burkhardt and Rich O'Donnell were able to convince them that based on their assessments, which they gave us, they matched what Rich did when you use the state equalization rate. So for once, we did okay on that one. The next short item I have is the Frank Fish from Brookhart, Jacobin, and Fish has been working on a recodification of our zoning ordinance. Basically, we're putting in tables to make it a little easier for people to read what the requirements and the setbacks are. Instead of just having a text, we're going to have charts and tables to also show it. And there's a couple of other minor changes which we're making to change some of the outdated things and also change some things which would be more in conformance with the master plan. Frank has completed that draft. I know he's discussed it with met with the planning board, met with the zoning board, and I would respectfully request that we set it down for a public hearing for the next board meeting, which is May 29th, is my understanding. And also that the board designate itself lead agency for purposes of secret compliance.
Okay. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll arrange with the village clerk for the proper notices and copies. It's a fairly voluminous document, so copies will be available in the clerk's office for review. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you.
One other quick item, though. I argued the appeal of the PW performance, the motorcycle shop on Marbledale last week. I think the argument went very well, and we're looking forward to a favorable decision on that. And also, on further Marbledale Road activity, the trial for the Ardmore litigation against claiming damages is commencing tomorrow morning before Judge Colabella, and I'll be up there with Kevin Plunkett and the people from his firm to help defend this action. And we're looking, hopefully we'll have a good rendering verdict in that one also.
Thank you, Les, very much. Recreation?
Yeah, under cable TV, if I may, I only have one item that received notification from Cablevision that some of the prices, the monthly fees will be going up. The only one that is stabilizing and staying the same will be the basic cable this year. I'll forward a copy to the clerk's office if anyone wishes to see the new rates. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Just a brief report. We had our street fair last weekend. It was the weather was wonderful, and I have to report, I'm not going to mention everybody that helped out, but there were 25 to 30 people who are part of Beautification. It was a very, very successful day, and I'm happy to report that our 100 baskets will be coming next week, and we certainly have the money now to pay for those. There was a lot of effort, time and effort that went into the street fair. We had 60 vendors, as I said, and it was very, very successful. I thank all of our residents who have supported Beautification either via a donation or with their time. We are very fortunate to have so many people that recognize we are making a great effort to have our village look better. And along those same lines, this week we did purchase, we had a rather nice donation, very nice donation, from a resident, family of a resident who passed away at Triangle on Triangle Place, and requested that we do something with the money that was given to us in the way of trees. So we did purchase 2 beautiful magnolia trees, one yellow, one purple, 4 cherry trees, 2 of the large hydrangeas, a Colorado spruce, and some boxwood that will form a garden. There'll be a garden with in the form of a V as you come into Armavilla, which Her last name was Visick, and a weeping cherry will go into the middle of that. It's quite lovely if anybody drives by, and I think next spring, as we go by and we see it, it will be really beautiful. So we're in the process of finishing that up, and we're very grateful to have that area of our village looking so much nicer than it has previously. One other item that I would like to talk about briefly is of great concern to all of the board members, and it should be of equal concern to the people in our community, and that is redistricting. There have been articles in the paper. I think that many people have received letters, but what this will mean if it does pass is that Tuckahoe will not have the voice at the county that it has had. Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville have always been together. There is an effort, if the redistricting happens, that Tuckahoe and Eastchester will become part of New Rochelle, and Bronxville will become part of Yonkers. And this is very serious in that the county, we do, deal with taxes, we deal with road resurfacing, grant money. I know that grants come in the form of many areas in the town, and one of the largest is for our senior program that's held up.
And he heard something.
Everybody that is listening tonight to attend the meeting tomorrow night at Town Hall at 8 o'clock. I believe that Mr. Kavanaugh Supervisor Kavanaugh will address this, and I believe that County Legislator Vito Pinto, who I am told is very much in favor of redistricting, will be present. So perhaps, if we have a good turnout there and we don't get good answers to why they're doing this and good reasons, then we can persuade perhaps Legislator Pinto not to vote in favor of this. So I urge you all to attend, and I don't know if you have something to say about this.
Well, I think you've done a very good job of expressing the importance of what this means to not only the town of Eastchester as a whole, but the village of Tuckahoe, and our voice being diluted by by breaking us apart and moving Tuckahoe and Eastchester to White Plains and Bronxville to Yonkers. It really is important that we get as many people out tomorrow night at that meeting to voice your opinions, your concerns, have your questions answered in what this means to you.
Yes, I ditto everyone's comments. Also, if you can't go to the meeting, please call. The number up the county is 995-2800. If you have access to a computer, go to the website, www.westchestergov.com. Go right onto the CEO's website, webpage, and you could email him directly, and they would forward it over to Mr. Pinto also.
Well, this is very important. I can't state it strongly enough, as we all have. We need to have people attend the meeting. We need to have people call Legislator Pinto, because if we lose our voice as a community, irregardless of what political affiliation we are, we just won't be heard. So please, everybody, come tomorrow evening. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board? Did we break a record with regard to the time?
This could be a record.
The next staff
Do we have a
meeting...
comment?
Comment?
This is open to the public,
Open to
yes.
the public.
Oh, anything.
On anything you wish to talk about. We don't want to end this, we don't want to end this too early, John. so-
No. Well, this morning I took some plastic things down to the yard, to our village yard, and it looked like a dump. But I want to point out, it's not the fault of the sanitation department. We had receptacles there specifically for plastic, others for shiny magazines, and we have a place there where you have bagged leaves to put that. Somebody's been coming up when the men are out on the field doing their service.
dumping.
And dumping. Not
We're
taking
aware
the
of
time
it.
to put it in bags, and it looks terrible.
We're thinking of putting cameras there in hopes that that might help.
But I want to make it clear, it's not the fellas are working hard.
No, we
They
know
come
that.
back, it's not fair.
No, you're right, we know
Anybody that's
that.
listening to me, it doesn't take that long. It didn't take me long to put 7 or 8 plastic bottles in a bag, put leaves in another bag. If I could do it at my age, they certainly can do it.
Thank you, John.
You're right.
Anyone else? Thank you. Our next staff meeting will be Wednesday, May 23rd, and our next village board meeting will be Tuesday, May 29th. Any other comments from,
Because that Monday's Memorial Day, right?
that's right, it's Memorial Day, so it will be on Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Good night.